Hey everyone, I'm back for part two of Rowdy Piper. Sorry about the seriousness on the first one. Anyway, I went ahead and got out the two DVDs, and I got to get out the VHS. All right, now, oh, but the first taping they had of all of Rowdy Piper was on Coliseum Home Video. Oh, Rowdy Piper's greatest hits, as me and Gene Oakland would say, "Give me a break." So I'm trying to get back to the humorous part of Rowdy Piper. Like I said, Rowdy Piper, he had a lot of controversial moments. A lot of people thought he was trying to be racist and all that, which he, in my opinion, he wasn't. He was just putting on a show, giving the people what they wanted. Uh, his second thing they had of him, which I think was the second one, was on DVD. It was Born to Controversial Rowdy Piper, which is very good. It had him on Piper's Pit on Monday Night Raw and all that back in 2000s. Very good stuff on there. Got a lot of funny stuff. Look on the back. There's Vince McMahon in between Hogan and Roddy Piper. That was the war that settled the score. Now this other one, they had it at Walmart, 2 discs. The unreleased matches of Roddy Piper, which, like I said, it had a lot of good stuff on there I'd never seen before. That's a very good DVD if you want to put them, if you collect DVDs of WWE. I try to get a lot of stuff like that. Uh, Rowdy Piper also, when um, when he had that Piper's Pit with him showing Jimmy Hart, he when he tied him up, he washed his mouth out with mouthwash, and I remember he put his hand over his mouth and he told him, "Do not spit it out. Hold it. Do not spit," is what he told. Then he kept asking, "Do you want to spit like you want to spit?" And of course, Jimmy Hart sitting there shaking his head, "Yeah." Then he walks over there and gets the pink cowboy hat that Bob Orton gave him for a gift through Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy Hart wouldn't spit in it. So Roddy Piper said, "Well, let me help you out here." And he put the microphone under his arm and he hold that hat there and he slaps Jimmy Hart in the back of the head. Of course, he spit out the mouthwash, and then he puts it on top of his head and everything, and of course, the other big moment he had at Piper's Pit was when he cracked the coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head, which, from what I understood, I don't like you want to say Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Snuka took that to heart. That Roddy Piper was actually making fun of him, which Roddy Piper was just doing his job. He was just putting on a show. Uh, But now the other ones that I thought was funny is when the Shield was a big deal. You had Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, which is now John Moxley. Uh, when he was in there, he walks over there to Roman Reigns and he pinches him on the cheek and said, "This one right here is just a cute one right here." And of course, Roman Reigns, gets up and told him to keep his hands to himself. And this is going to drive me up the wall until I get that off. I can see it. Anyway, uh, Roddy Piper also, another thing I used to think was funny when he did was when when at the WrestleMania 3, when he had the last, match when he was going to retire and he was going to go on to Hollywood, do what he was going to do and everything. They had the match at WrestleMania. Whoever loses got their head shaved. Of course, Adrian Adonis lost, and Bruce Beefcake comes in and helps Roddy Piper shave his head, and they did an awful job on it. I'm talking about this was just ragged. Of course, funny as all get up, but it was ragged. And of course, after they got done and everything, and Adrian Adonis was coming to because Roddy Piper put him in the sleeper hold. Roddy Piper was behind him, holding a mirror, waiting for him to turn around so he can get a good look at it. And of course, Adrian Adonis hits the mirror and starts swinging, and Jimmy Hart runs and gets the jacket off of himself and puts it on ate Adonis's head, and and that was it. We didn't see Roddy Piper for a while until I don't know if that was when Brother Love. Yeah, that was when he came back. Is when Brother Love and Ronnie Downey Jr., the movie star, was going to be on Piper's Pit. And of course, Brother Love was trying to make a joke out of Roddy Piper, and of course, we all knew Roddy Piper wasn't going to stand for that. Of course, Brother Love coming out there, I love you, and all that stuff, making fans hate him, which he did a very good job at wanting to hate him. Uh, but yeah, Roddy Piper, he he was there was nobody had nothing on him. As he used to say, when you think you got the answers, he changes the question. I always loved that. And of course, I loved it when he was on the Rock and Wrestling cartoon because the guy that played his voice and everything just made the cartoon even come alive. I don't think none of the people, I think Mean Gene Oakland was the original voice of his own, I want to say. Maybe not. But none of the wrestlers on there were actually did their own voice. Of course, I used to watch it every Saturday morning anyway. Um, but Rowdy Piper, when one of his biggest things he did, he had death threats over this. MTV was after him. Of course, it was all a show, but they had to make like they was after him. Dean Snyder and all them. When he kicked Cyndi Lauper, he made it look like he kicked her in the head. Because I remember he said that they came up to him and they said, "Do you think you can kick Cyndi Lauper in the head without killing her?" And of course, Roddy Piper like, "Huh? Come again? What was that? I'm still lost hearing in this here ear from that dog collar match with Greg Valentine." He said that when he did that on live TV, he said that was something that nobody ever saw. You did not do that on live TV. And he said he had heat like you would believe. Which I can imagine so, because this was like in the 80s. That kind of stuff just didn't really happen on TV, especially with that. And of course, with her being a fan favorite, everybody listened to her. Even I remember Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun. That's the thing I remember hearing everywhere when I was smaller. Um, but yeah, that was a pretty big ordeal. He knocked out Captain Lou Albano, and she was on top of Captain Lou Albano trying to protect him. And then the Roddy Piper goes there and just hauls off and kicks her. And of course, like I said, he said it. The atmosphere changed. He said it was hostile when he did that. Complete hostile, kicking a woman. Of course, Mr. T come after him. That's one reason why Mr. T came after him at WrestleMania 1. Of course, Roddy Piper shows up at Mr. T's. I want to say it was during the 18 show. He went on backstage. Mr. T had his little seat with his name on it. Of course, Roddy Piper had to come there and talk. Uh, but yeah, Roddy Piper also. See, what was that he did? Oh yeah, it was when Roddy Piper and Mr. Paul Wonderful went to Mean Gene was supposed to do an interview with him at a place where you work out and lift weights and all that. A gym. That's what I'm trying to think of. A gym. And of course, they got they was trying to intimidate Mr. Mean Gene Oakland. Of course, Mr. Mean Gene Oakland wasn't going to back down from him. They pulled off their weightlifting belts and they started popping like they was going to whoop him like a child. Well, they get outside, and I didn't know this though, but the poor guy that he was a part of the prop, walking up the streets, and they didn't know that this guy was just supposed to walk by. He didn't have. I don't think he had no idea they was going to do this. But they had to make a lot of they jump on this guy. Of course, like I say, he was a part of the prop. He was just one of the stunts guys supposed to walk by, making like the place was people was walking and everything, and they jumped on him. Of course, Mean Gene was telling him to leave the poor guy alone and everything. And Roddy Piper, like I said, he was a very controversial man. He was crazy. You had to laugh at him, at least I did anyway. He was I love to hear him talk because he would get worked up when he was talking and everything. And he was a hot rod. What do you expect? He was a fighting Scotsman. And of course, now he got Rodney Downing Jr. at that event at the Piper's Pit. Kept blowing smoke in his face, and Roddy Piper kept telling him, "Please do not blow no smoke in my face." And of course, I didn't know this. During that, Roddy Piper was actually getting aggravated with Rodney Downey Jr. because he was blowing the smoke in his face, and Roddy Piper didn't particularly care for that. And anyway, at the point he was supposed to actually take out the fire extinguisher and spray him with it. Well, he did. They went on with the show. They did what they were supposed to do. But when he sprayed him with it, Rodney Downey Jr. was on the mat. And it didn't really show that part, but he was. They said that Piper said he was grabbing him by his ankle, and Piper was just going to make it, rear back with the fire extinguisher, just whop him. Give the fans something on that. And he said if you watch the original taping of it at that event, that it was one of the WrestleManias, you can actually hear Gorilla Monsoon in the way off in the back saying, "No, Piper, don't do it," because that wasn't part of the script. That wasn't part of the plan they was having to do the show. Roddy Piper was just going to let him have it, give the fans what they wanted. They want to see Roddy Piper whoop Roddy Downey Jr., and that's what he was going to give them. And but like I said, Roddy Piper, he was a tough man. Now, I don't know if that was true about him having a golden glove or not. I don't know if that was really true or not about that. It probably is. Probably is. I just know that Roddy Piper was a tough individual in real life. I mean, he was a legit. I mean, he was tough. He was no nonsense. He was no, he was legit. They say he could actually fight. He was a street fighter. He was a brawler. He had to. He left home at a very young age when he was not even out of high school. I think he was like maybe 12, 13 years old. He just walked away from everything, which, who knows what really went on and everything. So, I mean, we're not going to go on in none of that because Roddy Piper, he's a legend. Love him. Loved Roddy Piper. Still to this day, I do. He's the man. Uh, but yeah, Roddy Piper, like I was saying a while ago, he was a tough individual. I mean, some of the stories I heard on the road and all them parties they had, I mean, he was the real deal. I don't know how he survived. Which now, if any of y'all out there ever watched The Legend House on WWE Network, you got to watch that for Roddy Piper and Tony Atlas and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Pat Patterson, may he rest in peace. Mean Gene Okerlund, Hillbilly Jim, Jimmy Hart. Let's see if I'm forgetting anybody else. I think that's all was on the show. But yeah, but now Roddy Piper, one of the things over there that I love watching, I have to go back and watch it every time just to see it. When they was going to all of them was going to be on the Chippendale at Las Vegas. Yeah, the wrestling legends were going to be on the big Chippendales. All of them. All the ones on the show. Well, they had to and Roddy Piper, him and Hillbilly Jim, and I think that was the only two they actually showed that had to go through that. They had to get whacked. We all know Roddy Piper, Hillbilly Jim was first. Hillbilly Jim, he took it like a champ. I mean, of course, I know it had to hurt because the look on his face told the story. That hurt. He was red, or she yanked the hair out of his body. Of course, it looked kind of nasty in that garbage can because of all the sheets that they used when they put the wax on him to rip it off and everything. All that was down there, and they actually had blood on it. I ain't gonna tell you what Roddy Piper said it looked like. I had to watch it to see it. On stage anyway. Roddy, and then it was Roddy Piper's turn. Well, they had to bleep out everything he said because I know he was hurting. Of course, he kept hauling out the nipple. I would have been the same way because, I mean, hell, I'm hairy too. But yeah, Roddy Piper, it was He, I could sympathize with him. I had to do I went try to do the waxing thing one time. It don't work. It hurts. If anybody out there can sit there and take it like a man, not make a sound, I take my hat off to you because I can't do it. Because I'm hairy as all get out. So if nobody don't want to see the back hairs and all that, me wearing a tank top or anything like that, don't look because I ain't shaving, I ain't waxing that off anyway. I'll shave it off before I wax it. Well, anyway, that's beside the point. Roddy Piper, he had a lot of great moments in pro wrestling. He's one of the biggest names. This is the thing I heard him say one time, and this is actually a very good question. Anybody out there watching this video, y'all want to comment on this when I'm about to about to say about this? Please do on y'all's opinion. Roddy Piper said, "Who was actually the biggest star of that particular the rock and wrestling days? Who was actually the biggest star? Was Hulk Hogan or was it Roddy Piper?" And on top of that, did everybody come there just to see Hulk Hogan, or did everybody come there to see Hulk Hogan beat up Roddy Piper? Or did they come there to actually boo and hate Roddy Piper? Anybody got an answer to it? Leave a comment. By all means, leave a comment. I love to hear everybody because me personally, I can't sit there and come up with a straight up who was actually the biggest star. I'm pretty sure I know what everybody's question is going to be, but what their answer is going to be. Excuse me, but really and truly, that's a very good question. Who was actually the biggest star at that period of time? But anyway, y'all keep a watch out for your local wrestling commercial. I'm having a mind fog right now. Everybody out there, you keep your eyes out for your local wrestling. Make sure you keep watching Ultimo Gallows weekly wrestling shows. Watch out for the SWA, BLW out of Brookhaven. Battle Zone Championship Wrestling. Make sure you hit my like button and my subscribe button. Y'all just keep out because I'm going to have a lot more new videos for this year 2021. I ain't going nowhere yet. I'm still the Highlander. And, oh yeah, before anything else, this is the Bret Hart shirt. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So anybody out there won't know what it looks like. Why I keep trying to take the WWE sign off of it, sticker off of it. But anyway, I hope everybody out there enjoys this here video. Y'all just leave me a comment about what I was saying a while ago. Who was the biggest star of the rock and wrestling days? And y'all keep your eyes out for my next new video. And I want to wish everybody out there a happy New Year's, even though I'm a little bit late or I'm a lot late. Hope everybody out there had a great Christmas. And I look forward to seeing y'all's comments on anything I got on my videos. Hit that subscribe button if y'all want to. I would surely appreciate it. So y'all take care.